Hi everyone, welcome back. You're still with us here on the 2-Hour News Show, and it's time for our signature segment, See the Stories. Now, unfortunately, the Eid holiday cheer has come to an end, as all good things usually do, and the routine of daily life has mostly resumed. Now, for many, this means that the transition after a holiday period can sometimes bring about a sense of letdown, and we often refer to this as the post-holiday blues.
Oh, letdown. That's not easy to deal with, but how do you deal with it? And how can you determine if what you have is indeed the post-holiday blues? We are now joined by, in the studio by clinical psychologist Rachel Poniman to find out the answers. Hello, welcome back.
Good afternoon,
Hi.
Tifa.
Good afternoon. So what about you? Are you having this post-holiday blues as well? And what is it actually?
To be honest, I am going through a little bit of that.
Even though you told us you didn't actually go anywhere for holiday, but
Yeah.
you do have like post-holiday blues.
It was still a holiday though.
Right, like a
Even
break
if I
from
didn't
work.
go anywhere, yeah.
Okay.
What actually triggers it? What are the symptoms of post-holiday blues?
So, post-holiday blues, I'm sure everyone has felt that at certain points in their life. So it is triggered by usually like after a holiday, whether you stayed in town or you went somewhere else. And it's usually from the big significant drop of like excitement or like activities. It could also be triggered by maybe financial stress that you had
yeah,
after
that tells it.
spending during the holidays.
I see.
Could also be like jumping back into your routine. For some of us, like I had to go back into work immediately, right? Like after the holiday ended. So that could definitely trigger it.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
the vibes are just different during the
Yeah,
holiday.
you mentioned a few
Yeah.
things that I think can be both post-holiday blues or post-holiday happiness. Like for one, if you're spending a lot during your holidays, it's actually a relief to go back to work because you know you'll be
It is,
kind of like
yeah,
earning money
true.
again.
So it's kind of bittersweet, huh?
It depends on how you look at it. I
Yeah.
know some people, if they're
That's
feeling it.
completely true. I mean, I've seen some posts posted by my friends. They were saying that I could not wait for the first day of work
Right.
to start again.
So I can get this money back.
Right.
Yes.
And also the last point you mentioned is some people are kind of dreading, oh, I like the Monday blues, like heading back to the office.
Yeah.
But doesn't that have to do with like how much you like your job? Like in your
That's
case,
true.
you're probably looking forward to go back to work because you love
Well,
your job.
Yeah, I mean, I love my job. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I love my job. But still, like, I got to wake up at noon.
Oh, right, it's the
You know what
routine
I
of
mean?
it.
Yeah, the
I got
routine
it.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That, like, really hit me.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a psychologist, I'm still human. Like, it still
Of
got
course.
to me, you know?
It's nice just to like
Yeah.
relax and not
Yeah.
having you stress or think about work
Exactly.
any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Makes
saying
sense.
that this is normal, but is it different, this post-holiday blues, with other mental health issues, for example?
Yeah, so absolutely. So think of this kind of like a mental fog, while clinical issues is kind of like a full-blown storm.
Right.
So with
It's a fog.
So with post-holiday blues, typically it's temporary. So it's about like a few days to a week to up to 2 weeks. So we would consider like clinical depression or anxiety for symptoms to be at least 2 weeks, and it's a little bit more severe than the symptoms of post-holiday blues. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are some of the signs that usually people exhibit? Are they just like, just moping around at home? Like, what do the people usually do when they go through post-holiday?
So, unproductivity, lack of motivation, which I experience.
Okay.
That's honesty there.
It's kind of like when you start up again, it's a little bit slow. Like,
Kind of like
Heavy,
Yeah,
right? To
that's
drag
right,
yourself
it
to
is.
restart.
And you kind of feel, again, like the bittersweet of it. Some people have trouble just like functioning in general. Could it be like, not just at work or at school, it's just like in relationships, in the things you do at home. I would say it's generally that.
I can add one.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Like during a holiday,
Yes,
I'm kind of
that's
like, I
right.
don't exercise. I eat
Really?
like holiday food.
And it was Ramadan before.
Yes,
this,
Ramadan
right?
too. Like
Yeah.
you're indulging, and then the first 3 days back at the gym, it's horrible. It's just like, oh, I can't lift these weights. I can't run. I can't do anything. It's just very slow.
And
it's
the
like when you don't start your car for a while, it
Yeah.
takes a while to warm up.
The fact that we have a lot of katupats already
Yeah.
inside our
That
right
doesn't help.
after
That
that
doesn't
Eid
help.
al-Fitr. But is there any particular demographic, like from your point of view, or personality type that more prone to this post-holiday blues?
Yeah.
So I would say it's not just for certain people. Like I would say everyone would experience this sometime in their life. I would say like people with, for example, like pre-existing mental health conditions might hit
Okay.
a little bit
Makes sense.
easier. People who are just generally like socially isolated might feel lonely. People who, may lost someone in their life, maybe who is grieving,
Okay.
might have a hard time during the holidays.
Okay. How about, would it be different for somebody who's coming back? Let's say you go away for holiday for a week somewhere, you know, somewhere, well, it's sunny here as well, but somewhere sunnier.
Sunnier.
Yeah, and a beautiful vacation with the family. You come back, maybe for one of the members of the family, they go back to work, so they go back to routine. But those that are homemakers, male or female, might be like, oh, now I'm like stuck at home again. Can that happen?
You're talking for your wife?
No, but she does go through holiday blues, so I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Can that actually happen as well if you end up having like most of your activities at home?
Yeah.
Of course, because routine can happen anywhere. It could happen like at school, it can happen at work. I mean, as homemakers, it is also kind of like housework.
That's true.
Right? It's still work. You gotta prepare your kids' food, you gotta clean the house, you gotta unpack your
So again, it goes back to
luggage.
like the whole
Yeah.
routine of everything, your daily like, daily grind.
Is there any signals if you're needing a professional help when it comes to post-holiday blues, or is there anything that we might prepare in advance?
Like, is it weird if somebody comes to you and goes, okay, I need to see, I got post-holiday blues. Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
To be honest, not yet.
Yeah,
Not
yet.
So
So it hasn't been that bad, right? People
No,
could
because
cope
generally
with it.
it's like temporary. Because like, I mean, this is what, Tuesday. I'm okay by now.
Okay.
Yesterday was a bit hard for me.
Yeah, so it's usually within
Yeah.
days.
Yeah,
Within days
because
or
she
like
loves her
up to a
job.
week, yeah.
Okay.
I would say like the red flag would be like if the symptoms are quite severe and it's consistent and it's like more than 2 weeks, then I'd say like go meet someone professional and see what's up. You know. But generally, like give yourself time because it is kind of okay to feel this way because it is a big change from waking up at noon to waking up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Going to work, you know.
Sure that.
I went through, I mean, Ali asked me earlier, like, do you get holiday blues? I thought about it. I only came up with the answer now, so I can answer you at the same time now. For some reason, I felt it a lot more when I was younger. I could go like these, like a year, you would get like a 1 or 2 week holiday. So then I'd take that holiday from the work, from office, and then coming back, I know exactly how it felt. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm back to this daily grind.
Yeah.
But later in life, I don't suffer that at all. In fact, I feel very comforted when I come home. What do you think the key for that is? Is age actually a factor, or is it the fact that, you know, I just find like home to be like my most comforting place to be?
Yeah.
And going on that, are there strategies we can use? For example, like we clean up the house completely before we go on
So when
holiday.
we're back,
We
everything
so when we
is-
come back, it feels amazing to be home
That's
because you kind of
actually a
miss
really
it.
good strategy.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but I think it could also be your perceived stress is not as high as someone else maybe.
Okay.
Maybe you don't see work as something that is taxing or
I
like
see.
stressful. So maybe you can ease up into it a little bit easier.
Okay.
But like some tips that I would recommend is to go back to your routine like one step at a time.
Okay.
Some people are not privileged for that. You know, some people have to go back to school immediately or come back to work immediately. So we can't do that. But generally, if you can, like ease up into it, like wake up in the morning, meal prep, clean some parts of the house and do some more tomorrow.
Don't overload like
Yeah.
yourself and think you have to do everything all at once.
Yeah, and relating to what you said earlier, move your body because exercise produces dopamine and serotonin, which is happy hormones.
Yes.
So it's always good for you, even if you don't want to. You kind of need to.
Yeah, I should add to that. It sucks to go to the gym the first 3 days, but every time I come home, I always feel better. So
Yeah.
there
You
is
always
that.
feel
I have to
better.
add that
That
disclaimer
answers
as well.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't you think that sometimes the burden adds up when you want to, when there's holidays coming, you just want your work to get done as immediate as possible so that you can get out and have the holidays. And when you're back, you can feel miserable again because, oh my God, I've left that
I
for
don't
so
know
long.
about that.
What do you think?
Well, I've heard some tips. People would like think about it in a sense of like 90%, well, during your holidays, 90% of holiday, 5% of work. So it's like when you ease up into it, it's not that bad. So you would like
Transition.
sneak in a little emails, you know, sneak in a little work. So it's like when you go back, it's not too bad. I've heard that.
Okay.
Oh, really? So that's like, okay, I never thought of that because everyone
never
says
tried it, though.
when you go on holiday, you should leave it completely behind. But I get what you mean. When I come back, I have all these unanswered emails
Yeah.
and everything. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so to add on to that then, I should also say that my tip actually works. So what we do is like, we make sure, like, you try to eat all the leftover foods before you leave for vacation because you
so
don't want
a lot
anything to
of
go bad.
food, yeah.
But you also don't want to leave your cupboards completely empty. You don't want to have, like I said, leave any mess or any sort of spring cleaning that you want to do. Kind of like do a little bit of it. We call it nitil, right? Do a little bit of it,
Nitil.
and then that way when you come back, you kind of pick up on where you left off. Because that's what I do now. And then when I come home, I feel completely comfortable, and I
Yeah.
remember, oh, there was this task that I hadn't finished yet, but I did start it. So yeah.
So we've already
It's like a less
tuned
of a
in.
burden.
Yes, I
It's not like
absolutely.
starting
Exactly.
a real new thing.
It's
but
not a big
like
start.
just finishing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Paul also mentioned about kids and maybe wife or other people in the house, right? How can we support our family or even ourselves, you know, who may be suffering post-holiday blues, to rebuild the motivation and restart?
Yeah, so I think number one is to check in regularly with others and yourself, obviously, with how they're doing after it's kind of, you know, back to the routine. I think that's really good. I think to normalize the feelings with your kids might be really good as well, with like, it's okay to feel this way. It's normal to have these emotions.
Yeah.
To validate their emotions as well. Like, hey, I'm feeling this too, let's get through it together, sort of thing. And I think practical support really helps. So go out, spend time with them, get your favorite matcha
Yeah.
or your favorite coffee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Try out new activities, exercise
It actually works too.
together.
Yeah. With kids, it's a bit trickier because it's not like exercise makes them feel better.
Yeah.
But I've done this trick as well, where post holidays, just take them out to a mall, get them a treat that they like.
Yeah.
If you go on a long vacation, we went on a long holiday overseas once, and then we came back, and a couple weeks later, we went on a one-night staycation. If you have like financially are able, like take one night out and go on a quick staycation.
Yeah,
It's like a
little
mini
getaways.
kind of like vacation
Yeah.
to end your vacation. Yeah. It's kinda
Yeah,
nice.
for me as well, to help with the kids, especially when
Yeah.
they're back to school. You know, during the holidays, they usually woke up really late.
Yeah.
So maybe 2 or 3 days beforehand, you know, let's
Get them back into
get
their
them
early
back
routine.
into the routine.
Because
Yeah.
it helps with the circadian rhythm and the body clock and everything.
True.
Yeah. And I think a little activity actually that might be really cute with your kids
What
is
is it?
gratitude journaling. So you might want to ask them like, oh, what are things that you were grateful for during this trip, during
Okay.
this holiday? That
They
might
write
help
down their
them.
memory.
Yeah. That would help them like reflect and maybe in the future even like relive it, like come back to it, and like that could be like a really
Oh, that's
happy
nice.
core memory.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. I think also age matters because I
Yeah.
think like I would say somewhere around 10, 11 years old. Prior to that, they love going back to school.
I love it.
It's only when the
Just wanna meet
pressures of
with
school start
friends.
to get to you that you not
Yeah.
look forward to going back. Like
Yeah,
that's very
lucky for
true.
me, my kids still looking very much forward.
Are they
getting back
saying
to
they
the
hate
routine.
schools? But
No,
when
they,
they're
they just
back,
get restless
they
at
love
home. Even if we don't go anywhere on holiday, they
that.
start getting restless, and they know they need their routine, even though they won't admit it. So there you go, guys.
Good
Getting
for
them back
them.
into the routine may be a good thing.
That is so cute.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
us.
much for joining us,
Yeah.
and hope that it helps you get over your post-holiday blues if you're experiencing any at all.
Yes.
And we hope some of these tips are able to help. And on that note, we're going to take another short break here on the program. It's 4:30 in the p.m. We have more information for you. In case you joined us late, we'll recap some of our earlier stories as well when we return here on the 2 Hour News Show.